I think that podcast is no longer necessary until like, oh, you guys are doing it now. I was like laughing at you guys at first, but like,
Wow.
oh, but
Whoa. Hi everyone, here we have Jesslyn Jonarto, the ex-head of student council for Team Valiant, as the first guest star for our very first episode of Confess. Jess, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Thank you also for the opportunity to invite me to become the first guest for the podcast.
To start things off, maybe you can tell us a bit about yourself first.
My name is Jesslyn Jonarto, and I'm the former head of Student Council 2020-2023. I have a student council team called Valiant.
So what inspired you to be the head of student council in the first place?
What inspired me to become the head of student council is that I got inspired by the previous batch of student council as well, in which when I entered FES, there was like a student orientation program, and I think that those people who are in charge for that event is really cool because they get to interact with the new students, right? And they're like the chosen ones by the teacher. So yeah, I think that thing like tells me, oh, I have to join, I have to be like them too. So yeah, days before like filling in the registration form of the student council, I didn't know what hit me, but I feel like I could be qualified enough to be the head, you know, because I have the experience to lead a team. I have become a head of class monitor, and I'm also very active in school.
Who was leading the student council when you were joining FES?
Well, when I was joining FES, it was called Aldridge.
Aldridge.
It was like 4 years ago, I forgot.
The brother of our current head of student council. So are you? So before student council, you had other experiences in organizations too?
Yeah, I used to like volunteered for a non-profit organization outside school, and also I feel like I have the experience, you know, like to get more of the student council activity since I joined a lot of competitions from the previous student council.
If I remember, during your campaign, there was a program called Jubilee FM, which is a podcast program, but that never ran during Valiant's reign. So what happened there?
There was like not a big. It wasn't like a big deal because since I planned that when I was still online, right? When the school was still online, but now since we have moved to offline, I think that podcast is no longer necessary until like, oh, you guys are doing it now. I was like laughing at you guys at first, but like,
wow.
Oh, but
whoa.
no. I feel like, it's going. I think like it's going to be a great opportunity to like, you know, to get more introduction for the FES students. You know.
I think especially offline, more people would be more willing to join the podcast.
True.
Wait, so you had the time to do podcast, but you just didn't want to?
Because I feel like it's no longer effective, you know, and like people come to school who are going to who are going to lend their time to listen to podcasts in their phone, right? So
okay. What's during your reign as head? What's like something? Do you have maybe any experiences or the biggest obstacle you have experienced in Valiant's reign?
Biggest obstacles is. I don't think like there's such a big deal, but I feel like one thing that I find it difficult for the student of FES is that they're hard to reach out. They're hard to be reached out. So, most of them are like not quite active for enjoying our part and participate in our event, and they choose like to, you know, and not join and rather like have their time alone and spend their time alone instead of joining the student council program. Yeah, I think that's like the biggest obstacle is to find participants on your event.
So what's your technique to convince those participants?
Okay, my technique is you know, like to get more friendly with the juniors and also like provide fun activities for them to enjoy, not something like for them to feel pressured off, but instead for something for them to to experience the fun and enjoy.
What do you think was your funnest event?
My funnest event, I think it was like my second event. It was called Spirit Olympia. You
Spirit
remember?
Olympia,
Yeah. So yeah, it was really fun. There was a lot of new game like Slime Buddy and blindfolded making slime. Yeah, tic-tac-toe too, right? And
Water volley.
Yeah.
I
I think that's really fun.
That's the first time I actually volunteered for Team Valiant.
Yeah. He volunteered to be like the
Helping cafeteria.
cafeteria first.
Yeah, that's actually when I started being involved with Team
Yeah.
Valiant. So about the students hard to reach out, what's maybe a message you would want to leave for Team Xenacio that maybe if you had to repeat all over again, what's something you wish you knew in the beginning?
What's something I wish I knew in the beginning? I think a lesson learned is that you guys should have like a proper schedule, a proper timeline for your upcoming event. So like, since you guys are starting your what is it called, the student council period, right?
Yeah.
You guys should have like a proper timeline, like next month what are you going to do, what are you going to plan, and like have an exact date, an estimate of the exact date on when are you going to hold the event, so that make sure that you guys are 80% convinced that the event is going to happen, because it's really important not to have those things, so that you guys won't miss out the due date, and you guys can also estimate the time, the weeks you guys need to prepare for your event.
So like 2-3 months before the.
A week or not a week.
How about the
actually.
planning? Like when approximately when the event.
Oh, yeah. Probably like 2 to 3 months is okay. So like you guys should have an image on what's going to happen in the next like 5 months, 6 months. Yeah.
Would you say you're a visionary? Do you look forward a lot?
Yeah, I look forward a lot, because like when I wanted to plan to hold this, but I remember that on the next month I'll have this, so it's going to be like packed, and I don't think it's possible to hold this event.
How about as head? What do you want to leave for our beloved Bedrich Williams, the current head? What do you think something, as head, of course your responsibilities are different.
Yeah.
What do you think, like, something you wanna leave for?
Yeah. Well, Bedrich, I do believe that he has the potential to be a good leader. I do believe that he can lead a good team. So, but one thing I'd like to say is that when your team is being passive, when your like student council members is not active in the group chat or what, I think that you should always stand alone. You should stand alone. You should put yourself up and keep reminding them for their work, for their responsibilities. And yeah, I think it's important not to like give up on them, even though when you feel like they're kind of not useful, because they're not useful, but like like sometimes you'll feel the phase where all of your student council members are not active anymore. If like they're tired and they're tired, yeah.
Burnt out?
Yeah, they're burnt out. So yeah, I think you should stand alone, and especially when your events are not going as planned, and like there's some technical difficulties or like technical difficulties that makes your event lead to a small failure. I think that you should always stand alone, and not to like, you should listen to what others think of you, but also you should make that as like, if you fail, it's fine gitu. Okay, you should make that as something that a lesson for you to learn.
So when you were juniors, did you often participate in events like willingly?
I think like that's the reason why I feel like I have the confidence to become a head, because I have experience like joining during Evo, during Accelerate. I've joined a lot of their a lot of their competitions too.
How about like, was there any voluntary work involved?
No.
Oh, it was online.
Yeah, it was online. There's nothing you have to volunteer, right?
So your message for the juniors is participate more in events.
Yeah, like my message for juniors is like, even though FES is very challenging, right? We all know that FES is hard, FES is full of tasks and stuff. Here, the student council is going to hold events for you guys to participate in. So like, be active, feel the fun, and enjoy the event too. Because yeah, don't be afraid. Don't fear of doing anything. Don't fear of doing the right thing. When you fail, you're eventually going to rise up, right? But if you succeed, you are going to be proud of it. So like, it's a win-win solution to join the event.
So there's no loss.
There's no loss.
It's either maybe you lose but you learn something, or you win and you
rise up again.
Yeah. How about managing like schedules? Like even during my campaign, it was already so packed, and that's just campaigning. How about when leading student council? How did you manage to manage your time and stuff?
I think it's really important to like have priorities, right? When you have both upcoming like tasks and also events that you have to prepare, it's really important to set priorities. Maybe you can set the night for preparing the event, and also when you got home from school, you can prepare for your tasks. So like, it's important to divide the time and have a proper schedule in your life.
So a thing I noticed I'm just part of student council for like 2 weeks or something. But what I've noticed is I've definitely had a lot of time to sacrifice, like playing time or playing sports. What do you think was the thing that you sacrificed the most when you became a part of student council?
I think I sacrificed the most.
Sleep?
Yeah, sleep. When you become the student council, when you become a member of the student council, make sure you guys will face the time where you guys are not sleeping. You guys are not receiving enough sleep. Yeah, sleep is one of the most thing I sacrifice. Yeah, and also maybe my hobbies. Yeah, I used to play guitar. I used to like journal, but I do not have time anymore for that.
Before student council, would you say you prioritize sleep, or are you the type to just stay until 2 a.m.?
I think I still prioritize my sleep though. I still think that myself is really important. But now, since I joined the student council, you guys are more important than me. Like you guys are.
So you prioritize the people of FES.
Of course, I have a lot of responsibilities.
So one thing I really noticed was, ever since campaigning and joining the student council, now I realize how valuable sleep is. Because like before, you're like you go until 12 or 2 and you're just playing games, and now you have to stay up until those times, but you're working. Like you go home from school, you barely have time to rest. You study, you have to prepare for exams, and you still have
proposals to do. You have timeline.
Earlier this week we finished 4 proposals.
What?
4 proposals. Yeah, we have for the upcoming Art Day and cartoon events.
Oh yeah, that's 2 different proposals, right?
Yeah. And the event Dive In today,
and also the podcast,
and this. So yeah, and that's also during unit test week. So
wait, you guys are having your unit test?
I just had chemistry test just now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you guys, student council is very hardworking, so you guys should appreciate them.
Appreciate your sleep also. Sleep. How about your grades? How are they when they?
My grades. You can ask the teachers though, but well, I think that my grades are okay. It's not as good. It's as good, but it's not like, some of them are lowering, some of them are decreasing as well, because like, yeah, I have to prioritize you guys more, but also it's not a good example of mine as well. So yeah, I think my grades are okay. They're average, but
how much is average?
80, 85.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. This year is your last year in FES. I mean, you have graduation next week.
Not next week.
Next month. Sorry.
Yeah, May.
Next month.
On May.
What's maybe like a final message for FES? Like before you leave,
Hmm.
what's a message you want to spread to FES? Like what's something maybe you regret or something you wish you did something more?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you guys for supporting my team, for supporting me, and trusting in our team for leading the FES. I think it was such a memorable time with you guys. It was such a fun time with you guys, and yeah, I hope you guys will always study hard in FES and also join the next upcoming Student Council events. And
Especially if you want to be head, because you're gonna
you
gonna
guys-
need that experience.
True. Or else, if you guys want to be a student council, you guys should also have the experience to join the event. Yeah.
And voluntary work if it's available. Yeah, I have to say I really respect Valiant because it's not an easy thing. You guys all campaign online, and then you change to offline within the month.
Yeah, our plan was everything was online. Our
Yeah.
plan was but now since the school started and chose to be offline, so we have to prepare all over again, right?
So during your campaign, you had like the list of events. So did you have to
Switch.
totally redo that from the
Yeah.
beginning?
I must say yes because it's hard for us again, like to brainstorm everything. So yeah.
How was the process converting from online to offline? Like you held the very first offline event like for FES. Was it one of the most difficult times or how was it?
I think it was the most difficult time, because it was lack of preparation, when you plan to do things online, but all of a sudden, God choose you to do it. God choose you to do the event offline, right? So, yeah, I think it's hard. It requires a lot of more hard working and to prepare the proposals, to prepare the event, to prepare the prizes, especially because you need to prepare the prizes beforehand, days before.
Yeah, but I have to say, after your first event, I think you really did learn a lot because Spirit
True.
Olympia was definitely a success.
If you guys remember my first event, it was like the better one.
Cartini
really
in
bad
a
one,
few
though.
weeks.
Yeah. Because we only prepared that event. We only prepared our first event for like 1 to 2 weeks only.
Yeah, but I can definitely see like the improvement, especially Jill. That was such a success. That was my favorite event.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, even actually, I remember when I was interviewed for the for student council.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
No. I was asked like, what do you think is the your favorite
Event.
No. What do you think lacked in Valiant's events? Other than Cartini,
Yeah.
I couldn't really mention anything because Spirit Olympia, I could barely think what was lacking. I mean, Independence Day was also really successful. Teachers Day was smooth.
Of course, yeah.
Jill was like perfect. Like I almost didn't know what to criticize. So like, respect to you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Really learning from
Lesson,
mistake.
yeah.
Yes. Hopefully, my first event today wouldn't be,
No, it's going to be successful, don't worry.
Okay.
Because I've seen all of your preparations, all your posters everywhere, and your campaign too. I think it's going to go smooth and well.
Amen.
Also, another advice I would say for the current student council is you guys have to also work with the SMA and SMP student council in the future, like Jill, during Jill, or during
JCC
Jubilee anniversary. You guys should definitely collaborate with them because it's going to bring such a good experience for you guys. You guys are going to create more networks. You guys are going to create more friends and
and create bigger events.
bigger events especially.
Okay. Jess, thank you so much for taking the time today here with us.
Thank you so much, Kenan, for interviewing me. Not interviewing though. It was a really fun conversation.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you guys.